The rising sea reaches the predator's shelter and proves that even the stone overhang may not remain safe. The giant searches for an exit above the flood before the next wave enters the basin. A steep path leads upward, but wet rock makes every step dangerous for the heavy predator. The tail balances the enormous body, while its claws search for secure positions on the rock. The predator reaches temporary safety and sees seawater completely cover the place where it had been resting. The giant continues upward because the storm has not yet reached its greatest strength. Water begins filling the basin, creating a new threat beneath the herd's protective formation. The matriarch identifies rising ground and begins shifting the circle before the water becomes too deep. The herd moves as one unit, keeping every young mammoth surrounded during the climb. The calf loses traction, but the adults prevent it from falling into the flowing water. Higher ground saves the herd from the rising pool, but the storm still surrounds them. The matriarch calls to keep every member connected when wind and darkness make vision unreliable. From its shelter, Smilodon sees the larger predator also searching for higher ground. The cat adjusts its position to keep the heavy rock between its body and the strongest gusts. Falling rocks create a new danger, forcing the hunter to leave the exposed shelf. A hidden crack offers better protection from debris than the open ledge. Once again, the cat survives by entering a space no larger predator could use. The decision to leave the forest proves correct, as powerful winds begin breaking entire trees. The leader increases the distance from the unstable slope before erosion weakens the ground. The herd responds immediately, maintaining a position where the hillside remain broad and stable. The giant endures the strongest wind by reducing its height and keeping every foot planted. The mound is shrinking beneath the reptile, turning temporary safety into another urgent problem. A stone bank offers a more permanent refuge, but the predator must cross fast-moving water to reach it. The river hunter returns to its strongest environment and uses the flood instead of fighting it. Rather than moving directly against the water, it crosses at an angle that preserves strength. Its claws secure a grip before the current can carry the heavy reptile back toward the lagoon. The predator escapes the water and reaches the most stable ground it has found since the storm began. The T-Rex finally reaches high ground beyond the reach of the violent waves. A natural barrier provides the shelter the giant could not find beside the flooded cliff. The predator conserves energy while remaining alert to any danger moving across the plateau. Across the coast, every survivor faces the same storm with a different strategy, shaped by its body and instincts. The herbivores survive through cooperation, using size and formation to protect every vulnerable member. The predators survive alone, relying on caution, terrain, and the ability to retreat when strength is not enough. The river hunter senses the first change as rainfall softens and the flood loses part of its power. After hours of darkness, the predator recognizes that the storm is finally moving beyond the coast. The new day reveals a coastline transformed by water, wind, and collapsing earth. The matriarch leaves the formation first and searches for a safe route down from the high ground. The slope remains stable, allowing the herd to begin leaving its storm shelter. The calf continues under close protection while the herd returns toward food and fresh water. Smilodon emerges into the quiet morning and discovers that the cave below has been completely flooded. Life is already returning, and the hungry hunter immediately finds a new trail to follow. With the wind gone, the tallest survivor is the first to see sunlight return across the damaged coast. The herd avoids the destroyed coastal forest and searches inland for vegetation untouched by saltwater. The falling water creates a new channel that may connect the predator to unexplored hunting territory. The reptile moves into the unfamiliar stream, searching for a permanent lagoon beyond the damaged coast. From above, the predator discovers that the storm has driven new prey into its territory. The giant chooses the safer path and begins exploring the land reshaped by the storm. The storm has passed, but it has opened new rivers, exposed new paths, and brought unknown creatures closer. A new trail waits beyond the forest, promising food, danger, and the next battle for survival. Something large is moving inside the trees, and even the valley's greatest survivor approaches with caution. The prehistoric coast has survived the eruption and the storm, but a new threat is already waiting in the darkness. Subscribe for the next chapter, as these prehistoric monsters enter a territory none of them has ever seen before.